Welcome to Music Appreciation Night, where we want to know what it is that you love about the music you love. Think a band or album is underrated? Find something you feel no one's ever heard before. Maybe you've got a personal story to share. That's exactly what we're looking for. Ask yourself, why do I like this? And chat with us, your friends, to make us understand. Because here at Music Appreciation Night,
music is a language of our soul.
Tonight, you will hear 3 presenters make the case for their favorite underappreciated music. They have 30 minutes and 4 songs to get you to feel the same way they do about it. If you've never heard these tracks, just sit back and let your ears consume them for the first time. If you have heard them before, we want you to listen, but as if it's the first time from the presenter's perspective. And don't forget to share your thoughts and your memes in the chat. And if you want to be a future presenter, email Ben at themusicappreciationnight@gmail.com. Now, to introduce tonight's show, here's your host, Timmy Turano.
Who's gonna hit me? Hit me! You gonna hit me? Hit me! Who's gonna hit me? Hit me! All right, let's go! Hit me!
Hello, music fans, and welcome to Music Appreciation Night. I am your socially distant, digital disc jockey, Timmy Turano, and I am joined by co-creator, musical commentator, and timekeeper, Mr. Ben Neese. He'll be chiming in later with his thoughts and prayers. No, with his thoughts on the tunes. And a big hello to our friends in the chat. Whether you're on Discord or YouTube, say hi. We want to hear from you. Leave a comment in the comment section, like the video, share the video with a friend who you think would enjoy the show. This is your community too, so we just love it when you're participating. But what better way to participate than to present? So, here's tonight's lineup. Our first presenter is going to take us on a bit of a trip back in time. It is Senor Maxwell Neese. Our second presenter is one of the core 4 and always brings the heat. It is Dr. Christmas. Then, taking us home tonight, it's one music fan whose taste is impeccable, as well as extremely enjoyable. It's Julie. I am 8-bit. Nice. So, let's get pumped up because it's gonna be a certified banger. The spark is lit and the musical fuel is catching fire. We've got kindling and it's all bar chords and funky beats straight down to the embers. Call the fire brigade because it's gonna be a hot one, folks. Ben, fire up that clock. Music Appreciation Night starts now. Max, take it away.
Thank you, Timmy. Wow, even mixed in my new name, Fire Brigade, in that intro. That was awesome. Hey guys, really excited to be back. This is presentation number 6 for me. It's snuck up on me, but it's been great. I've been loving it. It's been an awesome year. I actually missed last week, unfortunately. First one I missed in a while, and huge shout outs to everyone who's made it possible for the last year, and let's keep moving forward. So tonight's presentation is going to be a little bit different than my usual because full disclosure, Ben actually reached out to me today because we had a late dropout. Someone got called into work, so he said, Max, can you throw together a presentation for today? I said maybe because honestly I was going to ask him next week or the week after if I could present one of 2 artists. I was kind of stuck between them, the early 2000s DJ MC from New York or this early 1960s jazz pianist. So I'm going to split the middle tonight, and I'm going to present a single album from an artist from 1982 The artist name is Haircut 100, or band, not artist, both. So the band Haircut 100, 1982 album entitled, and it's one of my favorite album names of all time, I think, right now. Probably just because I've been obsessed with it for the past like 2 weeks. It's called Pelican West. So yeah, like I said, I wanted to do a presentation on one of the other two artists, but I knew it would be much. I want to do much more research and kind of go in depth into their history. And Pelican West really only has one good album and a second album, which you literally can't find on Spotify. And I only recently found out about them, so why not do them? Not a lot of deep diving. So to start it off, as I like to usually do, without much context as to what the sound's going to really be like, let's just jump into our first song. We're going to start with Lemon Fire Brigade by Haircut 100. Timmy, hit it. Nice. Very nice. That was our first song, Lemon Fire Brigade. Um, yeah, like I said, this band is called Haircut 100, and it was formed it's kind of hazy about exactly when it was formed, but it was formed by two people in particular, Nick Hayward and Les Nemes, or Les Names. Honestly, not sure about the pronunciation. Those are the two founding members. They were in several bands together since 1977. Had a bunch of different band names. They were known as Rugby, Boat Party, which actually became a song title on this album, Captain Pennyworth, and Moving England before landing on Haircut 100. And by the time they landed on it and they started assembling this band, it ended up being around 1981 when they were signed to an actual record label, Arista Records. And right around that time is when they were producing this album and writing it all. And remember, I'm going to mention Nick Hayward did majority of the writing on this album. That's something important to remember for later. Yeah, they had a bunch of new members though. They had Graham Jones come in, Patrick Hunt, Mark Fox, Phil Smith, and Blair Cunningham. And another fun fact: one of Ben's best friends from growing up is named Blair Cunningham, which absolutely blew my mind today when I was doing my brief research. Uh, so yeah, this album came out in 1982, and it hit a big score in UK with the first single they released, which was called "Favorite Shirts" or "Boy Meets Girl," which we're gonna hear later, the extended version of it actually. But after topping at the charts at number 4 in the UK, number I believe 10 in the US, and just being pretty much a smash hit everywhere, they started touring, started going around, started making the rounds, and eventually the magic did end. But more on that later. Let's move on to our second song, which is a bit slower because the next three after it are like the first, full of funk and just full of insane, just layered music. Let's start with "Surprise Me Again," Timmy.
Well, I remember the day when she going away. I rearranged my hair. Well, I can take any more. I bought some natural food and then I fell on the floor. Well, I can take any more. I need a change of address. By the way, why can't you smile? She said at first it was great, and in the middle I stayed, but at the end I was sick. I said, gotta have work done. So
Very nice. So yeah, like I said, that was Surprise Me Again. That was off the album that we've been only been listening to because again, they only really have one album, that's Pelican West. But getting on to that second album and kind of the falling out of the band. So yeah, as I mentioned, this album came out January 1982, critically acclaimed, huge bestseller, anything you would want of a band's first outing into the music industry. But unfortunately, it kind of fell apart because Nick Hayward, who was the lead singer and the lead guitarist, or at least rhythm guitarist, he kind of had a bit of a mental breakdown, unfortunately, after the album was released. Well, not right after it was released, but when they were trying to produce and write the second album, he was doing the majority of the writing on the first album, the writing of the music, the lyrics, kind of everything. He was the band leader, but the stress got to him and the pressure, and just he was struggling with depression and anxiety, and he unfortunately kind of got pushed out of the band by the rest of the members, which is pretty fucked up. uh, Obviously, because one, he was extremely talented and was the leader, and two, he produced that entire first album pretty much on his own from the writing or the reading that I've done. And then subsequently, the second album was then written by the rest of the band, and the saxophone player actually became the lead singer, and it absolutely tanked. It ranked nowhere on any album charts, no single charts, no nothing. And it was released, I think, a year and a half later, so or maybe 2 years. But yeah, you can definitely tell that Nick Hayward was really the driving force of this band, because he then went on to have a really successful solo career, which is awesome for him. And he has spoken about it later in life. I think I saw an interview in 2014 that he poured his heart into that band and really like respects and loves everyone who was a part of it with him. And there's definitely a mutual understanding there of what went down. And he did tease that they were going to write new music, but they have not so far. And that was, 7 years ago. So I doubt it's happening. They've had a couple reunions, but nothing since around that time, 2014. But yeah, like I said, their first big hit was their single "Favorite Shirts," Boy Meets Girl. So that's what we're gonna be listening to next. It's not the single version, but it's actually the extended version, because I just think it's fucking rad. Like, it just keeps on going and they just keep on rocking, and it's pretty much back to full funk for the next three. So Timmy, if you could fire up "Favorite Shirts," thank you very much.
Boy, Miss Girl, and the love that
Oh, I guess we're cutting it there. That was supposed to be the extended version, but that's okay. The single version is just as good. Okay, so moving along. Like I said at the top, they only have the one album, so it's kind of hard to pull any more facts about it, obviously. But Pelican West is just one of those albums where I'm angry I've discovered it this late because it sounds a lot like a lot of bands that I listen to, named like the House Martins, or it kind of has a Smith sound, or even REM. Lots of bands that I've known about for a long time, but this is just like never come across my plate. And I like use Spotify religiously, and I've tailored my algorithm to try to present me with new music. And yeah, this was the first like full new album I found in a long time that really kind of blew me away. Hence why I wanted to present it tonight after only really knowing about it for not even a full month. So moving on to the next song pretty quickly. This one goes out to Jay in the chat. This one's called King Size. And Timmy, fire it off. All right, all right, all right. Speaking of kings, Blair Cunningham Dukes just arrived. Love to see that in the chat. Um, okay, so one quick thing about that song. The chorus there, "You're my little blank blank." Does anyone have any guess as to what the lyric was there? Because it wasn't "You're my little fat boy" as I thought. I actually had to look it up after. It's "You're my little." See Mike typing. Is that a guess? "You're my little Fab One, not Fat Boy," which I was saying for the past week when listening to that song. Anywho, moving on. The last song that we're doing tonight from Haircut 100, again off the album Pelican West, because it is their only album, is my favorite of all the songs tonight, which I usually tend to do with my presentations. I leave my favorite for last. So this song is called "Nobody's Fool." Um, when I initially listened to this album, the first song I actually heard was Lemon Fire Brigade, which I presumed would be my favorite even after listening to the entire album. But yeah, when you get to the end, you get to Nobody's Fool, and something about this song just resonates with me in a major way, musically, spiritually, physically, mentally, every Ali in the world. I feel it with Nobody's Fool. So yeah, I hope everyone's liked Haircut 100. I hope everyone likes this next song, and keep it funky. Tim?
Is this just a feeling that comes between us? When I see your face, when I meet your eyes, a mean reflection. I can't help it to be nobody's fool. It's just like I can't help it to be nobody's fool. Be nobody's fool. Be nobody's fool. Be
That's just really good fucking shit. That's really good music. And Max, I don't know if you remember the time when your other brother Sam and I got obsessed with this band. And we used to watch this.
I was gonna say no, I don't remember that exactly, but I did play Lemon Fire Brigade for Sam earlier this week, and he told me that you had all their albums and you guys were obsessed with them when he was, I guess, an early teen. I'm guessing.
Yeah. We had come across this documentary on them, on Nick Hayward and his time in the mental institution and him coming out and trying to get the band together. And we became fascinated by them, and we went to the record store and found Pelican West and listened to it over and over and over again. And it was unlike anything that we had ever heard up to that point, because we weren't really deep into 1982 British new wave. So super happy that you discovered them on your own without us forcing you to listen to it. That actually makes me really happy.
Yeah, no, and it's a band that I wish I had stumbled upon because of you, because like obviously I take more than two hands to count how many bands you've introduced me to. But yeah, they're absolutely awesome, and to go that record point, I actually ordered a copy of their record today online because, record stores in Canada still aren't fucking open, so that should be arriving within the week.
Solid. Sam might have a used copy because I don't have mine down here. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Okay, Kenny.
It's that time again. All right, howdy doody, everybody. Yeah, I'm ready.
Fired up, my friend.
All right, sweet. So, good evening, everybody. I'm glad to be here on a Thursday evening with y'all. So, I guess last weekend officially kicked off the 2021 summer season, right? Memorial Day weekend, and though it was a cold, rainy mess of a weekend, it still got me thinking about summer and summertime albums and what are some of my favorite albums. And I'm like, you know what? It's summertime. Let's highlight some of these bad boys. So, picture this. The car is packed with all the essentials: swimsuit, frisbee, sunglasses, and beer. You're getting ready to get in, roll down the windows, and hit the parkway. It's 90 degrees. The parkway is free and clear of traffic. As the wind begins to blow through your hair, this track starts to play on your radio. Timmy, please play Blues Music by G-Love and the Special Sauce.
Me and my band, we all must agree. We like to get groovy with the sounds of the old time. We like to jam, cause man, sound from the band, stand hand from the cosmet, hang from the old ones, the tones, the gears, the props, and the ride. Very much simple, chillin' outside, way back. From where music really started, I'm a child of the 80s, so where I departed. Since then I started a collection of the people who started it all. I reckon, therefore I kept them in my side like mine. Blues music. Blues music. It's all about rocking the van, not rock to roll, but sway to sway. Shots work out of play. Yo, what that flag or Sabine say, Dave? About 8 miles to the yard, and that's some highway set, and that's a cool lounge in Atlantic City bound in 1920 to the 1970s. A shame with some pool hoes, yo, somebody get ready real cool.
to earth and side cat, hi-hat, dope, road, devil strings, my things, the bass where I sang. Yeah. Let the rhyme bang. Yeah. The tense of the time of the old time. Blues music, blues. Blind Lemon, Jefferson, and Juice BMWs to prove false. The Abacana, Booker White, Booker T, James Brown. Jimmy Smith at the console, so with the girls. Aretha, Shaka Khan, the So Solid Gold, Cisco and Sonny and Left Belly 2. People's the road with Woody and you, Bob Dylan. A million Sid Silver tone guitars, heard the licks. Yo, Rudy take them nowhere. Blues music. It's like chewing gum with your headphones on, like drinking lemonade, like chilling on the front porch after running ball. Like you lost a $20 bill, like you got a free ticket, yo, from the scratch and win. It's like the swimsuit issue. Ah, man, I think I need a tissue. It's like you and your baby got nasty, cut off and left alone. Now making eyes on the city bus again. Now you got ink spots on your page again. Grandma cooks a blueberry pie. Little sister got a boyfriend. Yeah. It's like smoking the ride, the final rites, the vinyl rides. Blues music, blues music.
So I was introduced to G Love, I guess a little bit late in the game. It was 2001. I was in my first year at Rutgers when some of my friends from across the hall turned me on to G Love and the Special Sauce's debut self-titled first album. Now, this album was released back in 1994, and between then and 2001, they had already released 4 additional albums. That said, when I heard the debut album, I heard something special, something that spoke to me. It was bluesy, a little rough around the edges, and completely laid back. Now, while the band actually has continued to release albums, with their most recent being The Juice in 2020, tonight I'm going to focus on this first album. So, without further delay, let's get back to some music. Timmy, please hit us with some dirty, dirty guitar sounds of the song Garbage Man.
I'm your garbage man, coming down your street. Better kick your can, kick your can. Better get your butt down on the curb and say hey to me. I'm by the liquor store, giving you the aisle when you walk by. I'm on that subway line, coffee shop eating toast and egg. I never beg, baby, I never get down on my knees. I gotta get you just to see, I got you just to see. Girl, you have me gone, long gone, lost in your eyes, lost in my pride. Now I realize, got you calling me, speak on me, seek on me, sex on me. What happened to my freedom? You need me like the air, cause you drink me like the water. Sorta funny, I'm your daddy, but you ain't my daughter. First you said you need some space, but please leave my place. Every other day or so, get from my face, a taste of what I got and get. Bet that woman tried to flame me, cause that girl has much gain. I can't get with that, she paid a price to play. I'm a freak the moves with the show, eh. I get you just to say, I never beg, baby, I never get down on my knees. I'm gonna get you just to say, I get you just to say. I get you undressed, your money gonna rest. I'm the best, baby, I'm the best. Forget about the man, I'm your one. Southern night, I'ma move ya, I'ma bruise ya. Gonna make you love me, yeah, then I'm gonna lose ya. I never beg, baby, I never get down on my knees. I'm gonna get you just to say, I get you just to say. You'll be mine. You'll be mine. I'm gonna get you just to see.
A lot of the music in my iTunes library. I have one, maybe two albums of a particular artist, and my expertise in that band's history is really limited. I love the album for the work of art that it is, and sometimes, I didn't really get to give the band a deeper listen. Now, the great thing with Music Appreciation Night is that it gets me to dig deeper. When I decide to present an album, get into researching, I learn the history, I get to listen to a bunch of different albums by that artist. I mean, this artist has been doing music for 27 years. It's just insane. And all I know is this one debut album of theirs from 1994. But anyways, so who is G Love in the Special Sauce? The band consists of three members: Garrett Dutton, aka G Love, on guitar, vocals, and harmonica; Jeff Clemens on drums; and Jim Prescott on the upright bass. Yeah, that's right, the upright bass. All album, freaking ridiculous. The band was formed in Philadelphia in the early 90s and released this wonderful album in 1994. So some people describe the band as having a sloppy sound. I don't think sloppy is a really the right term to describe them, right? I think the band just has a way of sitting so far back on the beat and holding on to the very last instant before letting it get away from them. It's just so fantastic. I love the drums and bass. It's just the driving force behind these tunes, and it just keeps your head bobbing the whole time. So, with that, let's play a sloppy song. Tim, things that I used to do. Hit it. No one's hearing it, Timmy.
Tim's keeping it for himself.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? This one's just too good for everybody.
This one's too dirty. It's too filthy. We don't want anyone to hear it.
Yeah.
We're afraid it's going to get an R rating.
He very well may.
Can you guys hear my voice?
We can hear your voice.
Hear you.
Okay.
Not the
All right.
song, though.
Well, let's fire it up again. If you can hear my voice, you should be able to hear the song. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
There it is.
Aw, shit.
Here she comes.
Things that I used to do, never do them no more, baby. Yeah, the things that I used to do, yeah, I ain't never gonna do them no more. Used to follow you around, tears in my eyes, low to the ground, try get slow, and we've been knowing you would leave me. Like sweet the soul, it's good to go, baby. You and me get with the road. It's a love song, eh? And I'ma sing it to your soul, slow in your eardrum, getting ready. All night long, I rock steady, always going like Rudolph's nose at Christmas time, sure to be glowing, shining, undermining in your veins, all in your mind, upside your brain, knock down your liver like hot tamales. I start to simmer. Things that I used to do, oh, I'm never gonna do them no more. The things that I used to do, yeah, never ever gonna do them no more. No, yeah, used to follow you around, tears in my eyes, sinking low to the ground, lower than the ocean, swimming in the sea like I'm a starfish. Check me, baby, shining all night long, just to get some. The things that house man used to do, never ever gonna do them no more. Yeah, the things that the marshmallow man, Jimmy Jazz Prescott on the bass used to do, never ever gonna do them no more. The things that I used to do, oh, never, 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 never gonna do it no more.
Right, so I admit it, that last one was a little rough around the edges, but that's what makes this song so completely magical and full of raw energy. I mean, there's no auto tune, he's not playing to a click, there's no samples involved. It sounds like guys jamming the fuck out in a room. It's live and it's amazing. It's just, the whole album is just so much fun and so laid back and just amazing. Anyways, all right. So I know the lyrics in this album haven't been the most poetic or deep, full of wonderful, complex subject matter. But I guess this next song is, one of the tracks that does dig a little deeper, I guess. It is also just a good tune. So Timmy, let's hit this right this time. This ain't living. Do it.
It sounds so hype, it's got soul as a Philly cat. I'm with the roll and the swing of my things, how they work like clockwork. Tick tock, tick tock. The time's always lurking in your head, gotta go to work and get fed. That man didn't eat, but he goes to sleep, it's up at dawn. Not to see the sunrise, but because it's too damn cold outside. Underneath the bridge, they pump the city's building to the alley. Sweep the city's the flowers will. The flowers will. Don't tell me about no game. Cause that is a man and his family, the revolution family. Look at the family, yeah, dig the family. They're living the wrong way, can't get nothing. Don't got nothing on they wanted, it's something like a job. Mercy, mercy, but it's been robbed. Mercy, mercy. Yeah, and there's so many streets out, beggars and disabled veterans, glass out and peddling, junk and just meddling. You conclude it's their fault, they like the street, they must like the asphalt. That is man, woman, and children, the system install shelters home. Like what I call it bad health. Some say help themselves, yo, if you got sick. Yeah, every 100 people, that's $1 and change. Every 100 people, that's $1 and change. Yeah, this ain't living. 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 No.
Yeah, you know it's rough, had enough of holding a cup full of spare change. The doctor diagnosed me as a dome full of bad brains. So, toe to toe with employers cause they telling me no. Hooked on prescription drugs, so I stay broke, huh? I run away, but you can't run away from yourself or your health. So I deal with the cards that I'm dealt. Tweedledee leak, the morning bird sounding sweet. Though I sleep on the streets, I have a feeling I'm free of society's hand-picked hypocrisy. Mercy, mercy, don't give a damn for me. Mercy, mercy. Now what am I gonna eat? Peek through the windows of a restaurant. People eating caviar, $50 on lunch. A hand-me-down meal full of God knows what. Put it away in my gut. Quick, and then I wonder why I'm sick. Brick for brick, I know the city like my handprint. Just a pit in a gutter of a skid row ditch. But I'll survive. The pain lets me know that I'm alive. But I still feel that this ain't living.
This ain't living.
This ain't living.
Yeah, this ain't
No,
living.
this ain't
This ain't
living.
living.
This ain't living. No,
This ain't
this ain't
living. This ain't
living.
living.
This ain't living. No,
This ain't living.
No.
This ain't living.
no.
Oh, no. Yo, check my beat, dig my rhythm.
Me belly full, but me hungry, so me feel it.
Once I start gaining, then taxes start taking.
Cause the government's perfected funk faking, breaking me down, striking me down. What goes around comes around, but I keep rising. See it through the realizing the surprise comes when I see myself. The music I felt, I'm on. This ain't living. This ain't living. This ain't living. No, this ain't living. This ain't living. No, this ain't living. This ain't living. This ain't living. I let the people in the streets say this ain't living. Yeah, I let the people in the streets say this ain't living. This ain't living.
Well, I want to thank everybody for listening to one of my favorite summertime albums, and I hope some of y'all will be adding G-Love to your summertime playlists so you can sit back with some special sauce while drinking your favorite drink or enjoying a nice summer smoke. With that, I'm going to leave y'all with Baby's Got Sauce. Enjoy your summer, everybody. Hit it, Tim.
Cooling out, waiting for my lady. Got the special sauce, that's why she's my baby, my baby. And of course I'll do anything for her. Anything she wants to show her, honey, show her. Got a short mouth, a short tongue. Gimme some, I don't take the day. Gimme none. You got to work and deserve it. Earn it to own it. The one she got, so never ever gonna leave it alone. Don't take what's cracking or forget it. Never been stood up, your. She does the stepping. My baby got sauce. Your baby ain't sweet like mine. She got sauce. Your baby ain't sweet like mine. She got sauce. Your baby ain't sweet like mine. Nah, she ain't that sweet. Well, that's a funky lemonade you got going, baby. Is it special for me? Did you make it today? Cause I always stand by if you like me to. Yeah, I'll do anything that you could ever want for me to do. A kiss for some of this, a smile and it's done. Miss, I'm your mister, my sister's your sister. My mother's your mother, father's your father. It all started when I kissed her. I missed her, dig. It was love at first sight, yo, do better when it started. I ain't broken hearted, but babe, I need some time alone with the crew, yeah, to do the stupid things that we used to do. Upon this, she slapped me with the fire pan, yo, this is love, not gonna leave it. My baby got sauce, your baby ain't sweet like mine. She got sauce. Your baby ain't sweet like mine. Your baby ain't sweet like mine. Nah, she ain't that sweet, see. Baby, what I would do for just one look in my direction. I gave you all I have, but then you still act mad. You don't give me no attention. My baby got sauce, and of course, as a matter of course, she does what she wants to, cause she's the boss. Please don't tell my friends about the situation, cause like they think I'm on some extended vacation. Cause I don't get out to see my boys anymore. Only time I leave the house is to go into the store for some more. What she want me for? What could she want this time? Take out my words, I know she ain't even mine. Believe me, what she doing ain't guess it ain't right. Cause she got me waiting constantly and silent to raise my voice, negotiating it. I confess it, I'm broke like so in the argument. I shouldn't even started it, I'm broken hearted. I can't be part of y'all, I need a taste, so I count my loss. Dig, my baby got sauce. Your baby ain't sweet like mine.
She got sauce.
Your baby ain't sweet like
My
mine.
baby got sauce.
Your baby ain't sweet like mine. Nah. She got sauce, she got sauce, she got sauce. Your baby ain't sweet like mine. Ain't so sweet like mine. Ain't so sweet like mine. Ain't so sweet like mine. She ain't so sweet, eh? She got it.
Exactly what you're supposed to bring, Kenny. Awesome work. I know that you've been thinking about bringing in G Love and the special sauce for a bit, and I'm glad that you chose tonight to do it because I think it matched really well with what Max brought, considering that they're from two completely different eras, places, and times. So, super sweet. How do you feel about it, Kenny?
I feel wonderful, and I think I hit the post if I'm looking at the time correct.
I think you hit the post right on. So much so to the point where I have to introduce Mr. Dulé right away. Dulé, you ready to do it, bud?
So ready. So ready.
Fired up.
Awesome. Thank you all. Good evening, my fellow music appreciation and community members. I am 8-Bit. I'm super stoked about presenting yet another artist that flew under the radar for me years ago. For those who already know this artist I'm presenting, sit back, relax, enjoy the tunes, and hopefully you'll go on this journey with me from a new perspective. But for those who have never heard of this artist, prepare for a magical, mystical, and cosmic adventure. Speaking of adventures, shout out to the Adventuring Party. If you haven't already pre-ordered their album, you don't know what you're missing out on. There are two different versions of the vinyls, one yellow, one blue and orange. By pre-ordering, you can also choose to receive a long or short sleeve t-shirt. I wanted both versions of the album and both versions of the shirt, so I actually ended up pre-ordering both. These are limited edition albums, so order now while supplies last. I seriously can't wait until they arrive. I'm personally going to blast that shit until they call the cops on me, but I digress. Tonight, I am going to present an artist that was brought to my attention when I first moved to California, Newport Beach, to be specific. Back in 2010, I didn't know a single person out there other than my cousins that had lived in LA. As I familiarized myself with the area, I made friends with the locals, of which I still call my friends today. My neighbor Kate, who I met at a local watering hole called Pierce Street Annex, which to my knowledge no longer exists, but anyway, she kept requesting this song after song after song on the jukebox. I was like really drunk but livid, and I approached her and I said, "Yo, what the fuck? When am I gonna hear my shit?" To which she replied, "After you hear this shit, dick." From that point on, we became friends and talked about music the rest of the night. While we were exchanging the artists and genres each of us listened to, we then started talking about artists that were a little bit more obscure to most. Well, perceivably, that is. The artist she introduced me to that evening is the artist I'm going to share with all of you tonight. Before we play the first track, I want to encourage you all to really focus on the lyrics this girl's spitting. I really meant it when I said what I said, when I was saying that it's going to be a magical and mystical and cosmic adventure. This is Bat for Lashes. Tim, please play the first track on this presentation, Glass.
I will rise now and go about the city in the streets, broad ways I see him whom I so love.
Dope, right? That song had every element involved with going on an adventure. A journey to a distant land overseas, crystal towers, emerald cities, knights in crystal armor, capes of red and gold. It's like the OG Final Fantasy games and D&D combined in lyrical form. That's why I had to shout out the adventuring party earlier. This shit is right up your alley, boys. But of course, Bat for Lashes wasn't being literal. In order to really understand Bat for Lashes, you have to know that all of her lyrics are extremely metaphoric. The song we just listened to, Glass, was actually written about her boyfriend who lived overseas. Being a resident of the United Kingdom, she had to travel back and forth from London to New York City just to see her American boyfriend. In the beginning of the song, she hints at this by stating, "Broad ways I seek." This is, of course, in reference to Broadway in New York. The creed she speaks of is her commitment to her then lover and how she would travel as far as she needed to get in order to be with him. If you ask me, that's quite possibly the most romantic thing I've ever heard. For those who have also been in long distance relationships, you know what I'm talking about. After a long journey, you finally get to the country your significant other lives in. You get in their house, flat, apartment, castle, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it's like you just finished slaying a dragon at the end of the game. The most challenging and difficult times in our lives can sometimes feel like that. But what's at the end of the journey is what makes all of those things you went through worth it. The best things in life aren't won, they're earned. It may just be my interpretation, but it's like, I feel like that's the message that Bat for Lashes was trying to convey in that song. But for the next song, we delve into the exact opposite side of the spectrum, loneliness. In Sleep Alone, Bat for Lashes speaks on her hatred for loneliness and how it can only be conquered by love. A two-hearted dream, meaning that love can only conquer loneliness when both parties feel the same towards one another. The song is actually the first song I've ever heard from Bat for Lashes. When my friend Kate made me listen to it, I thought it had ties to some sort of Native American chant. You'll pick up on it, when you hear it. Upon further research, I couldn't be more wrong. Bat for Lashes mentioned that the song was actually inspired by listening to Madonna, Prince, and The Cure. Tim, please play Sleep Alone.
You know, my darling, I can't stand to sleep alone. No sweetheart in the dark to call my own. You're my own, I can sing it, I can grow. That darkness is a stranger and I'm lonely, 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 alone. Last night's parties and last night's horror shows. Smiling and whirling and kissing all I know. Give my soul, sing it free across the sea. Lonely spell to conjure you, but conjure hell is all I do. Lonely, lonely, lonely. 'Cause mama told me that dream of love's a two-hearted dream. Lonely, lonely, lonely. 'Cause mama told me that dream of love's a two-hearted dream. They say for every high, high, there must be a low, 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 low. Every sun has descending, a lonesome moon will grow, 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 grow. Drive my heart into the fire of a burning heart's desire. Lonely spells, you be seen to hear me coming in my blue dream. Lonely, 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 'cause mama told me the dream of love's a two-hearted dream. Lonely, 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 'cause mama told me the dream of love's a two-hearted dream.
I am so sorry. I keep losing my composure because I'm listening to the music, speaking to all of you out there, and it's like I'm listening to the song for the first time again. It's getting me crazy nostalgic about living in California. So I apologize if I get lost for words just like that. But one thing I did realize is that I haven't really spoken that much about the artist herself. With that said, Bat for Lashes, born Natasha Khan, is a British and Pakistani musician from the UK. She released her first album, Fur and Gold, in 2006, followed up by her second album, Two Suns, in 2009, which is the album all the songs I'll be playing tonight are from. Bat for Lashes has released a total of 5 albums, the last of which was released in 2019. I'm going to be honest, folks, as much as I like her music, I have yet to listen to her latest releases. I'm still stuck on her second album. Keep in mind, when I first started listening to the album, Two Suns, I don't think there was ever a moment in time that I listened to it sober. Today may be like the first time, like, ever. Anyhow, the most impressive aspect of Bat for Lashes, in my opinion, is that she plays over 8 instruments: piano, guitar, bass, drum, harmonium, vibraphone, auto harp, etc. I don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I'm not shitting on musicians or singers that don't write their own songs. However, I just have way more respect for musicians that sing, play, and also write their own songs. That's just me. Bat for Lashes certainly fits into that category. I can go on about the award she's won and all the details that can be gathered from Wikipedia, but instead, I'm just going to talk about the music, what it did for me, how it changed my perception of music, and how it also brings me back to a time that I didn't really remember as a kid. Yes, I'm an 80s baby, but I really grew up in the 90s. I went back after the fact to listen to music from the 80s. This next song is very reminiscent of the 80s. The synths used on top of the very basic snare and kick pattern just takes me back to a time when things were simple and good. For those Music Appreciation Night regulars listening this evening, it pretty much reminds me of songs from the midnight, or rather the midnight reminds me of songs that reminds me of this actual song, which is my next and personal favorite song from Bat for Lashes. The song entitled Daniel is not about anyone specific in her life. She simply wanted to make a song that talked about something I assume and I hope we all have gone through in life: teenage love. Again, it just takes me back to a simpler time when we all had nothing to worry about except for school, what we're wearing the next day, who's got the crushes on who, and who's that mysterious kid, girl or guy, eyeing you from across the hall. Tim, Please play Daniel.
Daniel, when I first saw you, I knew that you had a flame in your heart. And under wild blue skies, marble movie skies, I found a home in your eyes. We'd never be apart. When the fires came, the smell of cinders and rain perfumed almost everything. We laughed and laughed and laughed. And in the golden blue car you took me to, the darkest place you knew, set fire to my heart. When I run in the dark, Daniel, to a place that's lost, under a sheet of rain in my heart, Daniel, I dream of home. But in a goodbye bed, with my arms around your neck, into our mouths the tears crept, just kids in the eye of the storm. And as my house spun round, my dreams pulled me from the ground, forever to search for the flame, for home again, for home again. When I run in the dark, Daniel, into a place that's lost, Daniel, under a sheet of rain in my heart, Daniel, I dream of home. When I run in the dark, Daniel, into a place that's lost, Daniel, under a sheet of rain in my heart, Daniel, I dream of home.
Hiya! No, I'm just kidding. How kick-ass was that song, folks? Was I the only one thinking of the 80s? Retro synth, the midnight? I freaking love that song. Daniel was certainly her most commercially successful song when it was released in March of 2009. Oh, a little fun fact I forgot to mention earlier was that that first song, Glass, was actually used as the background music to the 2012 trailer for the video game Assassin's Creed 3, which is one of my favorite games. Apologize for backtracking, but I had to throw that in somewhere. Now, on to the next. I don't really have much to say about this next song other than I used to trip balls hard to this song. What I can tell you is that when I heard it for the first time, I discovered that a medicinal dispensary of sorts was right across the street from where I lived at the time. I couldn't go in because I didn't have the proper credentials, the requirements, and all of that stuff that made me eligible to receive those goods. I told my cousin, and he had the proper paperwork, but I had no idea that eventually he'd go. He grabbed some stuff legally, and that was it. I then spent a weekend at his apartment to chill since he was closer to this venue I wanted to check out. I'll wake up Saturday morning after we've checked out the venue, and I cooked eggs and toast for my cousin and I. He had like an insane hangover that night before, so I figured that would be a nice gesture, right? Little did I know that the butter I used for the eggs and for the toast was super special. So special that 20 minutes after consuming it, I crawled everywhere I needed to get to. I completely forgot that I had to meet up with one of my other brother-in-laws that afternoon. Instead, I chilled at my cousin's backyard, laid out on the lawn chair, listened to the next track that we're about to listen to, and got tan as fuck. My mind pretty much went to space. This is where that earlier description, cosmic, comes into play. As a matter of fact, forget about this sober stuff. Let me fix this up right now. Folks, as always, you guys are the best audience in the world. It's always an honor to be able to present to folks who share the same passion about music, if not greater passion than me. I hope you guys enjoy this adventure with me, much like I always enjoy when you all present. I always I always learn or get put onto something new with this community. So my only hope is that I've done the same for you all. Tim, fire up that last track this evening, Two Planets.
Young strangers in a strange land, wanderers in a vast and unknowable universe. Show me moonlight.
Can we just talk for a second about how Mr. 8-Bit himself, Mark Dulé, blew
I
massive clouds in the middle of his presentation like a fucking champion?
did I stay within? Did
Wait,
I stay within the 30?
yeah, you hit the post right on, dude. You hit it right on. That included you fucking taking taking huge rips. I love it. Loved it. I think that's the
Thank you,
first
thank
time.
you.
I think other people have like, been smoking and stuff during presentations, but none have like taken a moment to acknowledge that they're smoking and then you can listen to them doing it. So rips and shell for sure. Rips and shell. I loved it. That was great. Awesome. And Bat for Lashes is a great choice. I first heard about her through an interview with Tom York, and he was saying that she was one of his favorite up and coming artists back in the early mid 2000s. So if you got Tom York's blessings, you're all right by me. Awesome work, dude.
Thank you, thank you.
But as we end this thing off, Timmy, fire up that link tree. If anybody wants to go next week, please let us know as soon as possible, so we can start planning that out. And yeah, Tim and I had a discussion earlier today about deciding not to take this like so seriously, just to make sure we're having a lot of fun with it still. And you know what? I think tonight's presentations all showed that we could still have a ton of fun, and just make the community what it's supposed to be. It's just friends sharing music with friends and turning people on to things that maybe they've never heard before and appreciated before. So along that vein, I heard a song this morning listening to WFMU, mine and Daniela's favorite radio station, along with, I know, a couple of other people on here's favorite radio station. And halfway through the song, I didn't know who it was, and I had to yell up to Daniela to look it up online as to what the hell was going on, because I didn't know if it was in French. I didn't know if it was Stevie Nicks. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. And it turns out that it was Eartha Kitt. And it was a song that was featured on RuPaul's Drag Race. And it's called Where Is My Man? And I want everyone to listen to it and everyone to have an amazing time while listening to it. Get up and dance. If you've taken huge hits like Dulé did, I guarantee you're going to have a great time with this. So yeah, here's Eartha Kitt doing Where Is My Man? Everyone have a great time. And we'll see you all next week.
Such things as summer by the sea, the Hamptons, Malibu, Capri, Capri, Capri.
Presenter on a future Music Appreciation Night. Email Ben at themusicappreciationnight@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow Music Appreciation Night Live on Instagram and Facebook.